This episode is critical to the marginalized community. We have decided to give equally an episode that deals with the marginalized community. When Kenya gained independence, we have never seen a national holiday being conducted in Northeastern province. 1st of June, Madaraka Day, the first one, was celebrated in Wajir County. The first one. There was a lot of celebrations. The president shed tears. The president apologized to people of Northeastern and said the apology was because they were marginalized. Marginalization is that development was not taken to Northeastern province. What is the legal basis for that statement? Our crew, sailors, went into the historical archives at the National Archives in Kenya and brought out a document called Sessional Paper No. 10. The Sessional Paper No. 10 was a document prepared by the Minister for Planning. That time, he was called Mwai Kibaki, Mwai Emilio Kibaki. This was the Minister for Planning, together with the late Mwai Kibaki, the late Tom Mboya, and an American professor. The document was called Sessional Paper No. 10. This is immediately after Jomo Kenyatta came to power on the first day of June 1963. They developed this document as a blueprint on how the Kenyatta government will deal with development in this country. That is the document that marginalized everybody. In Sessional Paper No. 10, the policy was that government should only put its taxes, fund where there is high productive agricultural areas. These were the former White Islands, where there was coffee, where there was tea, and where there was cash crops. These are regions in the Mount Kenya region, both Central Mount Kenya region, Eastern Mount Kenya region, the Rift Valley, part of Nyanza, and some few areas of the Republic. So the government machinery, the government money was invested in these areas. They believed in a policy called trickle-down economics. That if you invest in these high agricultural areas, the other regions, the watapata ile inaitwa the small tokens that remain after people have eaten ugali. How did this happen? All the factories were put in Nairobi and in Thika. Fish could be brought from Kisumu to be processed in Thika. The rich Ukambani region with its fruits, the fruits were to be brought to Thika to be processed in Thika. All the factories were placed in White Islands. The railway line terminated in areas like Nanyuki. National schools were centered in White Islands. If you check the national schools that were put around Kiambu area and the Nyeri alliance, the two alliances were in this place. Mangu was in Kiambu. Kagumo was in Nyeri. All these schools were national schools, were concentrated in white islands. Hospitals were concentrated in white island areas. Then we have universities. All the universities were placed in white island areas. This is the reason why regions like Ukambani, regions like Coast, regions like Maasailand, regions like Luo Nyanza, regions like Northeastern Kenya were not developed. This is the reason why the northern part of Kenya started what is called the shifter war. They decided to secede, to move out of Kenya, because they felt Kenya is not part of their country. This bred to what is called a fight to bring in a new constitutional dispensation to address these inequalities. Come 2010, Kenyans passed a new constitution. What was the biggest push towards making of the new constitution is the fight to have devolution. In 1963, the Kenyatta government was given a constitution that had majimbo. Majimbo was local development for local people. Sessional Paper No. 10 shifted this, and the majimbo was abolished, and we had now a centralized government investing all resources in Nairobi and investing all resources in White Islands. 2010, we developed a constitution which created Article 27. And Article 27, sub-Article 4, talks that the state shall not discriminate directly or indirectly against any person on any ground, including race, sex, pregnancy, and all other these issues. Then the state was to move forward to effect that. Under Article 56, the state, the Constitution, identified minorities and marginalized groups. The following were the minorities and marginalized groups. Article 53 dealt with the marginalized group called children. Article 54 dealt with persons with disabilities. Article 55 identified another marginalized group called the youth. These groups of people were to be dealt in a particular manner, more so in what the Constitution brought about called devolution. A whole chapter was created in chapter 11 called devolved government. Government had to move from the White Islands. Government had to move from Nairobi to create 47 counties. Today, power and resource distribution is in 47 counties. Wajir, for the first time, can hold a national function. The reason and the principles to fight devolution, to fight marginalization, were objects of devolution. One, the objects of the devolution of governments are: one, to promote democratic and accountable exercise of power. Two, to foster national unity by recognizing diversity. The Somalis, the Kambas, the Mijikendas, the Ndorobos, the Ogieks were now identified. Three, to foster, to give power of self-governance to the people and enhance the participation of the people in the exercise of powers of the state and in making decisions affecting them. Devolution, power moved from Nairobi. Each county has its own parliament, county assembly. It has its own governor. It has its own public service board. People make their own decisions. D, to recognize the right of communities to manage their own affairs and to further their development. The people of Wajir, the people of Ukambani, the people of Maasailand can decide their own destiny. E, to protect and promote the interests and rights of minorities and marginalized communities. Devolution came in to protect the minorities and those who are marginalized. F, to promote social and economic development and the provision of proximate, easily accessible services throughout Kenya. Today, every county by law has a high court judge. Every county has a registry for the High Court of Kenya. Every county is a must have a university of their own. Every county must have a level 5 hospital for that county. Every county and every constituency must have what they call the TVET. Those are the polytechnics. This is the reason that the power must be dispersed from the center. G, to ensure equitable sharing of national and local resources throughout Kenya. In the CDF, 290 constituencies, CDF is distributed to every constituency. Every day, the government disburses money from national government to the counties. Equal distribution of resources. Employment. Nowadays, when the police recruit, they recruit people from every ward in the whole country. Representation. Every ward has an MCA. Every constituency has a member of parliament. Every county has a senator and a women rep and a governor. That is what it is. H, to facilitate the decentralization of state organs, their functions and services from the capital city of Kenya, which is Nairobi. Originally, all national celebrations were conducted from Nairobi, at Uhuru Park or at Nyayo Stadium. Today, they have devolved national functions. Parliament moves from National Assembly, they sit and the counties. Senate sits at the counties. This is what we call moving power from the capital city. And lastly, to enhance checks and balances and the separation of powers. So, Wakili Omari has told you it was a systematic way of making some communities not develop. Today, the face of the republic, through devolution and through the county government. The president apologized for Northeastern. He still has more regions to apologize for. The Ukambani region, the Maasai region, the Coast region, the Mijikenda region, the regions that must be apologized to. We need to move forward and develop this country. Wakili Omari brings to you how Kibaki, the icon, was also the architect of a policy that completely removed almost 2/3 of the public, the citizens of Kenya, from the mainstream economic development. Wakili Omari, always a pleasure to bring it to you.